Someone, somewhere, held their grandchild for the first time.
Someone, somewhere went to work instead of a dialysis appointment.
Someone, somewhere took a walk and felt the breeze on their face instead of their pain.
You didn't know them, but you knew the possibilities.
You didn't know them, but you knew you could help.
All it took was yes.
Amid the excitement of getting her first driver's license, she checked the box.
In conversation, he told you, if I can help someone, I want to.
It was a simple yes that was anything but simple.
It was a yes that opened the door to hope and healing.
It was a yes filled with memories of first steps, holidays, and family traditions.
It was a yes mixed with sadness, pride, and optimism.
It was a yes that changed everything.
3 simple letters brought us here today.
We are humbled and grateful to walk with you and honor your donor hero.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Hi, I'm Kara, and I'm a breast cancer survivor. Almost 5 years ago, my world became very, very narrow. Every day just felt like a struggle. Every day was filled with treatments and side effects and fear. I didn't know what was going to happen from one day to the next, so I just kept my head down and simply put one foot in front of the other. You know, I listened to my oncologists, I listened to my surgeons, I listened to my nurses. I did a lot of listening and not a lot of thinking. All I really thought about was today and tomorrow. What I didn't think about was next week or next month or even next year. I really didn't think about life beyond cancer. So when I finally got to the end, when I finally got to the other side of my treatment, I honestly felt a little lost. I felt different, I felt beat up, I felt happy and yet a little sad. What I really, really wanted more than anything in this world was just to feel like myself, you know? To look like myself, that self that I knew before cancer. And honestly, I really didn't think I was ever going to get there. I didn't think it was going to happen. You see, I had a double mastectomy, so I was physically different. I had been taken apart and sewn back together. I felt scarred, I felt ugly, I felt less than whole. And it's hard to explain the emotional toll of losing a part of yourself so drastically. Granted, I was very grateful to be alive, and absolutely I could live with my scars, but I just wasn't me. I wasn't myself. I felt that I had lost an important part of who I was, and I wasn't sure how to get past that. But then this beautiful thing happened. I had breast reconstruction. Now that may seem a little trivial or superficial, or even maybe silly. I mean, I get it totally, but trust me, it's not. For many breast cancer patients, reconstruction isn't about aesthetics. Reconstruction is that first step back to life. It's the first step back to self-confidence and normalcy. I'm telling you this because of this little thing called Alloderm, which is commonly used in breast reconstruction. Alloderm is created from donated skin. So basically it provides a foundation for creating a smoother, more natural looking breast. Alloderm is sewn to your chest wall, and it creates a bit of a pocket, and it also helps to create an extra layer between an implant and the surface of the breast. So, a beautiful soul out there donated their skin, and that donation made a huge difference in my life. My donor helped me heal emotionally. My donor helped me feel whole. My donor helped me to really begin thriving. And now that I think about it, the coolest thing about my donor is they're now part of me. Over time, my cells grew into the alloderm, so my body absorbed my donor's tissue. So I'll always carry them within me. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you to all the donors and their families. Thank you for your selflessness and love, for your sacrifice and your understanding. Your thoughtfulness is helping survivors like me grow and thrive, and for that, I'm forever grateful.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the 2021 Celebration of Heroes. My name is Kyle Herber, and on behalf of Live on Nebraska and the Lions Eye Bank of Nebraska, it is a tremendous honor to come together today to remember, celebrate, and honor the generosity of our heroes, those who gave the gift of life through organ, tissue, and eye donation. In 2005, I began my career in organ and tissue donation. I never imagined at that time that I would be standing here today as the president and CEO of this organization. I could also never have imagined a day when a pandemic would transform the way we carry out our mission, while at the same time bringing out the best in our team and redefining the way we all think of heroes. During the past year, the world celebrated frontline medical workers instead of a Super Bowl standout. We applauded the truck drivers, grocery store workers, teachers, and farmers who continued to serve others and make a time that was anything but normal as possible. These essential workers, the unconventional heroes, helped life go on. Yet here we are today, gathering again, albeit differently, for a time-honored tradition to celebrate your loved ones, the donor heroes who live on, and who too have helped make life go on for so many others. When we pay tribute to those heroes a bit later, you won't see anyone particularly famous. What you will see are mothers and fathers, children, friends, co-workers, and everyday people who changed the world. Their gifts may never make headlines, but the impact they made on their recipients and their friends, family, and community will go down in history. Part of that history is the evolution of donation and transplantation, not just here in Nebraska, but throughout the world. Each year, more and more Americans give the gift of life. In my 15 years at Live on Nebraska, the number of individuals providing a second chance at life through organ donation has increased by 125%. The impact of tissue donation has been similarly astounding. Within the last couple of years, the number of tissue donor heroes increased from just over 100 to now more than 600 in a year. Among our donor heroes from the last year is a 105-year-old tissue donor. This individual earned the well-respected title of being the oldest donor in our organization's history. Just weeks ago, a 95-year-old World War II veteran became the oldest organ donor in U.S. history. Our partnerships and research are contributing to new understandings of lung disease, helping to find a cure for pancreatic cancer, and developing new techniques to treat wounded soldiers on the battlefield. Advancements in technology help us do our job better, get life-saving organs and tissues to people in need faster, and save more lives. Ultimately, these accomplishments, the advancements, this new life comes back to one thing: the donor. Your loved one's donation made life possible. She helped someone breathe on their own again. He gave someone the gift of sight. They helped burn victims recover and contributed to discoveries that are transforming transplantation. We would be remiss not to recognize you, the donor families, and the role you play in this life-changing process too. Whether you supported your loved one's donor registration or made the decision in favor of donation on their behalf, we can't begin to thank you enough. We called you in the middle of the night. We asked you tough questions. You gave when you had nothing left to give. We feel your pride. We feel your grief. We are truly humbled by your sacrifice and generosity. Donation is noble and unselfish. It takes courage to give, never knowing what the outcome will be. Katharine Hepburn once said, "True kindness lies within the act of giving, without the expectation of something in return." You and your loved one are truly kind. The world is a better place because of you. We are forever grateful. Thank you.
Dear organ donor, I know you will never know me, but on the evening of July 20th, 2006, you saved my life. We were only 3 years old. I celebrated that day. My grandpa and I had a tea party in my basement and sang L'chaim to life. Maybe that night, while I was celebrating, your family was holding your hand with tear-streaked faces and said, "It's okay, you can let go, we'll see you soon." I'm sorry. Dear organ donor, in 2008, I started kindergarten. My mom put my hair in pigtails. This doesn't seem like a big deal, but it was for me. I was so happy that it was growing back just long enough for them to hold. Mine wasn't the typical kindergarten farewell. I kissed my parents, they had tears in their eyes, but their tears were tears of joy, tears that symbolized the bridge from abnormality to normalcy, from sickness to health. I skipped along, lunchbox in hand and backpack on back, filled not with books, but with a feeding tube. And as they sent me on my way, they thought of you. Dear organ donor, not a moment goes by where I don't feel at least a little bit guilty. Guilty that the moment your organs were put into my body was the best moment of my life. Guilty that on the same day you departed this planet with less than you came in with. Guilty that I hate my scars, guilty that I want to feel beautiful, guilty that you will never be able to walk this earth, feel the ground under your feet, guilty that I am breathing. You were only 3 years old. Dear organ donor, when I was 8, I performed on stage for the first time. The lights beamed into my eyes, the energy of the ensemble was euphoric. Acting is simply embodying another person's existence, and for the first time, I was able to escape from myself. Dear organ donor, people don't understand what it's like to be sick. Sitting in a hospital bed, dreaming of tomorrow, fluids pumping into my body that were keeping me alive while killing me slowly. I didn't understand what was happening. I've always been told that I'm the bravest kid out there, but what about you? You gave me the miracle of life. There are so many things my parents hid from me. How do you tell a toddler that they're dying? I was only 3 years old. Dear organ donor, I find it hard to understand in my mind what it means to love someone you've never met. I love you in so many ways, but not romantically, in a way that I can only express to the person who saved my life. A love and admiration so deep and so sincere, it naturally is only reserved for you. Dear organ donor, today I wrote you a letter. I wanted to sooner, but I didn't know where to start. You gave me a second chance at life. I managed to walk away unscathed with just a scar, but you're dead. And what do I say to your family? I am the 15-year-old girl who received this precious gift from your child. I know I will never be able to thank you enough for giving me a second chance at life. I would also like to say how sorry I am for your loss. Nothing would ever be enough. Maybe I would say I would give it all up to put your family back together, but if given the opportunity, would I? Dear organ donor, January 30th was my bat mitzvah, the day of my life that states I am no longer a child. Everybody I loved was in a room to support me on the day that nobody thought I'd see. And I did, because of you. It was a day where I was called to the Torah as an adult, a daughter of mitzvah. I felt you there next to me, your hand on my shoulder as I chanted, Yehei Shalom Araba Min Shemaya. May there be an abundance of peace for you in heaven. Dear organ donor, I want to make you proud. I wanted you to know that you died a hero, my hero, the greatest hero I will ever know. And I promise to take good care of you, to honor you with everything I do. Because on the night of July 20th, 2006, you saved my life. Dear organ donor, thank you.
Once again, thank you for joining us today. As our communities return to a new sense of normal, We look forward to gathering with you again soon. We are excited to announce the return of in-person events when we gather for our Celebrating the Gift holiday events in December. Look for more information on this event in the coming months. Until then, we wish you continued health and peace. Please reach out to us if you have any questions, would like help connecting with recipients, or are interested in getting involved in our organization. We are here to support you in any way we can. Thank you and take care.